There. Oh, fuck's sake. Fine, let's get this over with. Get dafty. Max.
Jack?
Brother.
Am I? Really?
You answered that question yourself already. You really think I'm just gonna let me guard down? This is... You and I both know this is suspicious as fuck, Max.
Well, considering what we are to each other, I figured I wouldn't need to go any open space. Or any public one in that matter. You know that more than I do.
Arena ain't enough, innit?
You sure let me know about a lot of stuff, huh?
This is still about that, isn't it?
What do you think?
You don't believe me, do you?
Not until I figure out what the fuck you did with that bird lady, no.
As far as I was aware, it turns out that bird lady was Widow's sister. I saw her when I was getting the fucking tracker off of this sodding thing. She's fine. Most I ever saw of her was the ability to change colour. And Widow was more grateful than anything else about it. As much as I didn't want to bring her in, it was the only choice we had.
You say that, and all this mysterious shit you've been pulling behind my back makes me think otherwise, Jack.
You know why I have to do that shite, Max.
Oh, why? 'Cause of your stupid fucking family?
Says someone that barely even knows what a brother is.
I know what a brother looks like. I know how someone would act like too. And as far as I'm aware, it wouldn't be any dumb son of a bitch like you.
Max, you fucking know why I was doing that shit. You know I would willingly put me life on the fucking line if it meant their safety.
You know Jonah would tell you otherwise!
Because he would be concerned for my fucking safety like any good brother would.
Yeah, like you would know how to show concern for a fucking brother. Where were you when those fuckers captured me?
I wasn't even aware it
You
even
was
happened.
There. Red was there. Job was there. What shows you know what a fucking brother is?
You think I even knew what happened there? If I knew what happened there, I would have been there. No fucking questions. But I didn't. I didn't know. Because they didn't think, in their infinite wisdom, that it would be wise to tell me.
You made your point. That's enough.
Does he make a good point?
Exactly.
Or is he just trying to cover his ass for all the shit he's done?
You and I both know neither of us, none of us, are free of sin.
Watch your mouth, Rabbit. I'm sticking up for you.
And I thank you for it. I'm just saying as a general term. Considering how many times have you nearly beaten me to death in front of in front of many people. Twice at this point. The first time was out of your control. It was Nitro taking control of you. I get that. I forgive you for that. The second time in the arena, I feel like the only reason you didn't fucking bother to finish the job was because Jones was right there. And none of us asked for death in that bloody ring. Didn't he stop you from trying to punch me ticket for me?
What is he talking about? You said that the situation involved him betraying, but it sounds like you were the one who cast the first blow.
This was a long time before you came back, son. I shouldn't even be calling you son. I should be showing you more respect than that. But what he decided to do...
Talking about?
I was still trying to help Tony even during that. That's why I asked you to go against the shapeshifter during that shite. In hopes that you'd be able to get someone to help make sure the civvies are fine. Like that bloody Jeff.
This is pointless. You said you were here to engage him. Sounds like he's in the right. This conversation's over. You've heard him now. You've said what you wanted. It's over.
I don't even need you to open your eyes. This wasn't just about the fucking cornball, was it?
No.
What are you doing?
You said what I came here to originally do, right?
You wouldn't call me out here into the middle of bumfuck nowhere. This isn't even anywhere near Zephyra, nowhere near me. I don't even know where this is. Coordinates aren't even of the planet I live. And frankly, with this angle, I'm glad I can't blink. Because otherwise, I think I'd be rendered blind by the sun before you could do it. I've been trying to protect my family and those I care about the entire fucking time. Now I hear that not even a solitary fucking bit of that shifter got to it. Hills, I'm not one for paranoia. I don't like to speculate. But considering that day, and the way you've been acting since... No. No, it'd be foolish for me to fucking say.
Oh, wait.
If I were a more paranoid rabbit, I'd have said you slinked away right at that moment. In the hopes that we would have been beaten down enough by the shifter that they would have been able to capture us, and you'd have gotten a pretty penny.
What is he talking about? What are you talking about?
The moment we were captured by the Hounds, he left. Practically 5 moments before it happened. Before we beat the shifter into submission. That's why I had to make that deal. Because A, I wanted to see that Harrow business through. And B, I didn't want to end up like you. It's not like I exactly have the strength to resist.
Sounds to me like you're the only one not being honest. How dare you use my son's death as a way to get me involved into your pathetic scheme, and then sit here and say nothing while he talks about you leaving them to die. To the very hands, the very people that you decided to put on a pedestal. Or is he lying? Say something.
There's more to it than me leaving them alone. I didn't have no fucking choice by then. Whatever the fuck was inside me, I couldn't control. I had to fucking bounce. I didn't want to be a problem to them more than they were.
Then why are we out here?
Haven't you had enough revenge? How many times do you need to beat me into the ground until you're satisfied?
It's pointless. I'm getting Jones and you're getting out of here. We're done.
Jones?
You heard me.
Jones is here.
Let's go.
Fine. Fine.
Let's go.
If you're causing... No. A rabbit knows when to keep its trap shut. And when it's safe to let it go. If I were stupid, I'd be blabbing damn near everything to the Hounds. Trying to get you back on the fucking operating table. If I were a right cunt. But I'm not.
Stop talking.
Fine.
You've already proven your point.
Aye. Maybe it's just pontificated for my own sake at this point.
Conversations and nothing murder. Turns out it's just as bad.
Ah. Jones.
Way I
Tony.
see it, both of you are hypocritical traitors. And to think my son died, thinking of you. Pathetic.
As if I didn't have to kill me Saint twice that day. Well, what are we still standing here for?
If anything, I think it's time for us to go.
Aye. Aye.
Why are we waiting?
That's what I was asking.
Let's go. I don't understand why you're being so quiet right now. And you were the one who brought us out here.
Barbed wire fencing for a nowhere road like
I've heard
this.
enough out of you. Well, you've been deciding to clench your fist if you ever went to the chamber. So tell me.
The hell are you? The hell is going on? Oh, let me stand this way so
No.
you're not staring at the fucking sun. Actually, no way, I should be standing... I'm stupid, sorry. That's more for me not staring at the sun.
I kind of... Things are
Listen.
complicated.
Listen, I know your profession. Honesty ain't your thing. No offense.
You got that right.
Aye. But God damn it, I just want those I care about to be safe. And well, to a loose extension, that includes everyone here.
Things will work out. What matters now is you and your kin.
That's always how it mattered in the end for me. Bottom level, it's always me and my kin. That's why I started this in the first place.
Trust in Max. I think he knows what he's doing.
Trying to roll me up like this.
You.
Baron. Go on.
I can't begin to imagine why you made your decision. Especially over the life of a sibling. What you did during the lives of your comrades. By doing what you did. By not talking to anyone, you only made it 10 times worse.
I couldn't.
You were just as foolish, if not nearly more foolish, than your individual friend over there for your situation.
When it came to this whole business, they slapped a tracker onto me. A way to track my movements, what I hear and what I say. Keeping stum was the best idea. Making sure I didn't go anywhere near Tony, anywhere near Jeffrey, was the best thought I could really do. I even tried moving my own kin to one of Jones's sites, even if that ultimately didn't matter.
What happened to your siblings?
When I got lurched into the void, following Red's sacrifice.
Do not bring him up.
I'm sorry, it's just for context. That caused the tracker to go dead. I didn't know. But that was the red flag they needed. And they captured me kin. Everyone except one. Only one actually got away from that raid. The head of the family, Jonah. They did that to ensure I'd keep working for him. Ensure I'd actually do a job and do it right. And not go gallivanting off into the void where they can't hear me.
What did you do?
I had to raid a place. Was allowed one person to bring with me. I figured Max would be the most understanding considering the siege. We was to gather items of interest, any research items, and acquire a test subject. There were two. One that was more arachnid in order, red in color, and the other was a blue bird type person. What I didn't know was the blue bird was in fact Dr. Widow, me handler's sister. Or at least some kind of sisterly bond of some case. I had to grab her, the arachnid, we couldn't keep a proper grip on. Not unless we could keep a grip on 1,000 spiders. The shifter showed up. I told Max to try and deal with the shifter, try and get any piece he could to try and bring to Tony. Obviously I had to use code names. Take it to Pinstripe. After all, there are few that wears pinstripes back then. As far as I know, he didn't bother. I had to bring her back, and I ended up learning that they made monsters had to scales his DNA. And they freed all but one of me kin. One of me sisters. Just to make sure I keep working. They said next job, they let her go. And then the next job, they let me go. Tony, presumably found, or was found by Widow at some point. Widow apparently didn't have the interest of the Hounds at heart either. Same kind of boat I was, I suppose. Suppose getting that bluebird back ended up awakening something in her.
So then why did Max attack you?
Tony, me and her.
If he knew about the situation.
Aye. The last job was to free myself from the contract. Tony already managed to pull enough string to free Zaz for me.
But that doesn't answer my question. Why did Max attack you? Why has he been attacking you?
Probably.
What is this all about? If it sounds to me like it was already thought out.
Just about the fact he was sitting down that rock and even called you in. I wager that were to be the case. Looking to try and make an example of me, or probably thinking I was still bugged. If I were still bugged, well, I wouldn't be exactly as honest or open.
You brought him on the mission and you didn't think to point out the tracker?
I did. I told him that my family were held captive. That's why we're using code names for everything. Instead of saying Tony, we're saying Pin.
So then why would he attack you?
I don't know. Some kind of anger? Probably thinking I was just feeding another innocent person to the grist of whatever fucking shite the Hounds do.
Is that what you were doing?
I didn't even want to. But it seemed it was lucky that I did grab the blue bird in that case.
So why would he attack you?
I don't know. That's the problem. I don't know his head. I could see his soul, but not his mind. I could see the souls of people, but not their minds.
Max. Well.
Fuck. Christ.
Max is acting on his own.
Of course he is. And we know Mercs ain't exactly the brightest when they're going off on their own direction instead of being given a nice fixing.
Evidently, we could say he's a little rogue on us, but...
Definitely going rogue on me. Some brother he is.
Yeah. Though... he has his reasons.
Of course he does. Everybody has their reasons to do anything. Dr. Widow had her reasons to hear you out. You had your reasons to talk with her alongside me.
Yeah, I did.
Much as I hate to admit it, I owe you a favor for helping me free Zaz like that.
Yeah.
Unless you want me to keep the change. I know a bloke like you has no use for the funds I have, meager as they are in comparison to anyone on an upper plate of Zephyra.
Everyone has their worth. It's not something that they're able to do.
Evidently Jones sees that, because otherwise why the fuck would he be here? Either making sure I do something, or he's also in the same boat you are. He's the fucking head of a shadow government, for fuck's sake. Or one of them. At least a decent higher ways up the ladder. He's not the fucking rungs.
Yeah. Life for me and Jones are very different.
Aye, him and his wife say that to me without words. She is a lovely lass.
Yeah.
I know I already had my doubts about Max and his own intentions, considering Hayes' reaction to me. She pointed a gun to me head the same way Baron just did.
Well,
But
Hayes a loose cannon. She's more emotional.
and I at least understood where she were coming from, considering from what I could glean from you, she was, or at least what I knew of before I had to be forced into the Hounds, well, little wet works.
It is.
She cares for Jeffrey, and I know that.
Yeah. And I did put you two through a lot. Bringing you into my underground dealings.
Still, that night sits off. Why did Max vanish right then? Why did they pull me out of the cell moments? Just a few seconds before I could leave on my own accord, thanks to the nature of Priest's favour.
I really don't.
Why?
It's hard to know the minds of the enemy. What they were thinking.
I don't know. Maybe they saw use out of me. Maybe in that brief moment I was fearing that I'd just end up on the table.
Maybe.
That they'd learned their lesson from the previous fucking rabbit.
Maybe. But I am hoping that
This is
Won't
about
need your
him
assistance
trying to
again.
make a big scene, so that the Hounds know he's a problem or something to get them off my back. Then maybe I could understand. Considering that...
The Hounds. Where are they?
That's the unfortunate part, I don't know.
Yeah. They're scattered.
Most I know, they captured us and they captured me, Scales and Juvia in Soul City,
different
didn't they?
factions, each acting independently. What I was able to glean from past jobs.
Anytime I were brought to one of their facilities, their bases, it was in a windowless van, or truck, what have you. And they jammed any signal my PDA would have, so I couldn't grab any coordinates.
Well, then we race to sea.
Make a big enough stink. See if they come, and try to hijack someone.
We kill until they come. They're bound to have family. I'm sure they'll point a finger, saying they realize their loved one has a gun to their temple.
Find a surface level area, or something from... Because as much as Dr. Widow is a right bitch, if she were a true member of the Hound, she wouldn't have freed Zaz.
She's
Are
the
you
only
still in
one.
contact with her?
Yeah, she's still on our side.
At the very least, she's available through Tony.
I will be talking with her soon about future steps, as well as, given the last job, I'm curious of...
We don't talk to her. We torture her, interrogate her for information until we... Eventually, we get a breadcrumb, and we follow that to the Hounds.
Considering what Tony did, torture seems almost unnecessary.
Too soft towards them.
But you have a different matter of approaching a problem. And frankly, I can respect
It's been
it.
going on too long under your supervision.
Exactly. Widow at least did me a solid by wiping all traces of me from their database. I saw it myself. All traces of me, Zaz,
But
my
you still have
family,
access to
where
that
we
information.
live, where I've been. Gone.
Then she would still have access to that info.
As long as her memory holds, I suppose.
What do you mean hold?
Until she either forgets either herself or via other methods. Because odds are good she might be in deep shite with the higher-ups of the Hounds just because of this.
Then she'd be able to give a name.
I don't know. That's the worst part. But Tony can definitely get you a hookup at the very least. With me though, I want to cut me ties.
What? No.
At least with this whole business.
No, you don't get to do that. Regardless of your situation, you still put your own comrades in danger.
Aye.
Which means,
Willingly or not.
the only fair response is staying until it's done. But that does mean you'd be willing to complete it faster, instead of waiting around in fuck knows nowhere, doing absolutely nothing.
You make a good point. Make a good point, Baron. I'm glad you're at least able to see the sides of this. All things considered.
Too many of my children.
Aye.
Dad's stubborn when it comes to something like this. And I understand your rationale.
And I'm stubborn when it comes to clinging to life.
Unfortunately, the only person here I don't agree with is Max. I'm running out of reasons to keep them alive.
Some fucking brother he is.
He said he beat you.
In the arena at the Sky Stadium. When it was me and, I believe, Johanna versus him and Jones.
So then he's a bully.
I figured he simply lost control of his anger.
Doesn't know how to.
I don't know how premeditated it were.
That's why I was there.
I feel like you are half the reason he did. He completely caved me skull and rip me head off.
Most of the time I'm there to make sure damage doesn't last.
Aye.
Yes.
Within reason, of course. More urgent situations may call for actual use of your strength. Otherwise, like what happened when it came to the bloody Helldivers.
Yeah.
That is different situations.
Aye.
Yeah. Well, I have some external affairs to deal with, so I should start.
Baron's right. I do need to make things up to those I ended up endangering. Scales may forgive me, but what about Juvia? What about that bird?
Yes. I need to speak with you.
I told you. If you didn't handle it,
I need to speak with you.
I'm sure they'll understand.
That is not negotiable.
Juvia at least seemed to look at me with a... No, the bird. Sorry. Keep mixing the two. They blend together in my head somewhat, but not just because I haven't seen Juvia much. And I know I saw the other girls that were with you. They saw me fight Max.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be willing to listen to reason instead of trying to jump me like that.
Explain all of this to you.
explain how
Some are more understanding than others.
Aye, Kenshi was willing to work with me. With no tilts.
Well, Kenshi doesn't really care about really anything.
Fair on then.
why are you defending it here?
Kenshi just does whatever Kenshi does.
Explain, you'd understand.
Fair on, I suppose, and I guess that extends to that white-haired fucking bastard. Sorry to repeat a point, but that's ultimately the only reason why I even wanted to be with the Hounds. Or, well, not the right word. Why I took the deal in that case.
Yeah.
Was to make sure that,
And
me kin dunny lose someone. Because, frankly, I think the one who'd be most miffed about that would be Jonah, and that would be somebody for breaking the promise.
yeah, I understand.
That he would die before I do. And he's not in a hurry to perish. Hence why I feel a bit more heartened when I go on things like this, but now I'm not so sure. Concerning the amount of close calls I've had with Karen.
Yeah, well, now I have to make sure that the doctor is taken care of. She knows what's going on, and well,
Aye.
gonna have to protect her from Baron's wrath.
Aye, while I may not argue against it, there are better methods. After all.
Yeah, me and her did kind of have a deal that no harm would come to her.
Aye.
I
Tell him that.
always man of my word. Baron. I'll talk with him later.
When he's a little less heated, I suppose. Both by the heat, both by the desert, and this. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd only want to stay here for any longer. Hell, all things considered, rest in the shade of me arms.
Well, I do have a car parked a little ways out.
Only saying just because you're still wearing a full fucking bespoke suit in this fucking sun. Sure, it's sun setting right now, but that doesn't mean it's shifting. It's still shifting slowly, this heat.
Yeah, well, I have an image to keep up, so.
And ironically now, I think if he wanted, if bloody Max wanted Shite to go the way I assumed he was wanting it, having a spat on the desert sands, he wouldn't actually have brought Baron. Either that, or it was just to ensure that if a fight did break out, that he would keep the upper hand.
Maybe. But
Keep me apprised of anything regarding the cure. I at least heard about that.
will do. Yeah, thanks to some things, Widow is, well, helping us out with that, and well, once Azazel is properly trained, I'm gonna see if I can have her, break into some servers.
Okay. But that's up to her, not me.
I know. I'm not gonna force her into some shady deals.
Like I had to.
Yeah. Everyone has a choice.
I know me lass visited Jeffrey on my request. What she told me, he's still fine, still nice, gaining haze freckles, judging from what Jeffrey said. I don't know if that's part of the metamorphosis or not.
Hard to say, but
If it's picking up traits of hay, will it pick up on her newfound height? Will it pick up on her fucking hot-headedness? He wasn't aggressive. That was one stage. So unless it skipped straight from 2 to 4, then I doubt it.
yeah. I should get
The only other thing she told me about his condition was that He ended up doubling over in pain at one point due to the nerves hitting his legs.
Yeah.
And apparently he doesn't know who someone named Alex is. Talked about Nevada. Presumably about Hank.
Well. But we are getting started on we're somewhat of a cure, so...
Hopefully he can get it done before he has any signs of turning. Or at the very least, you can restrain him before he ends up being lost.
But I should get going.
If he wants to settle this fucking beef, it'll be himself. Not calling on Baron. And frankly, I'm glad he's a lot... As much as I don't mean to badmouth Red. No, far from it. But if Red were here instead of Baron, I don't think he would even be willing to listen to me.
True. I agree with you on that.
So his sacrifice saved me in more ways than one, I suppose. Even if he never could have foreseen the second part.
Yeah.
I heard there's a mural open at Atlantis. Maybe I can pay my respects to him there.
Maybe.
Maybe. I'm heading back home.
Yeah.
Oh, I still have flight.
I've delayed things long enough, so I had to hop to D&D, so this went well. And I will...
inside after all of this!
Just on the other end. Stooping to their level, as he called it.
Stoop! 2 levels! You deal with the problem!
And I wish I goddamn could.
Then shut it and listen, because according to the Black One, there is a way to stupid. There is a way to deal with it. The female, the widow, whatever you call her, she has information. So I suggest, instead of feeding another one over there, we go to her first. And if not, then we destroy the city. Simple. Then they come out of hiding. You don't want to kill friends? Let's not kill friends. But feeding them to the same enemy force that's caused this?
Do for him. For Tony.
The gangster, the monster. It would only get rid of some of his power, or it would do the opposite. That city is full of nothing but scum and gangsters. It wouldn't be a loss.
I understand that. But I do not see it as my choice.
The way I see it, considering the fact that he's still alive to make such a stupid decision, it is your choice. So are you gonna sit here and let him kill himself?
He won't kill
I'm
himself.
gonna deal with the Hounds. Going back to the same location that not only has info on another member's family, but also has info on his medical records, considering they were going to dissect them, is borderline foolish. You are a soldier, like me. I shouldn't have to explain that to you.
I know it's foolish. You don't think that I have made the precautions so that he can stay safe.
Precautions? Precautions! The number one precaution is keeping him away! Because he cannot be trusted to handle it. In fact, the last time he was trusted to handle it, he almost beat a friend to death. You were going to tell me there's more to him. You were going to tell me about the fact that he has his anger issues. So don't you lie to my fucking face and tell me that he is the right man for the job.
Not going to be alone when he does it.
It doesn't matter. It is a risk. Not when we have the info sitting in that fucking hotel room.
And what do you suggest?
Like
He
I
has
said,
a standpoint. He hasn't done anything wrong other than have a little squabble.
A little squabble is what you call sending him to his friend's death? Or beating him to near death in the middle of nowhere? That is a petty squabble? Regardless, the idea is simple. Like I keep saying, the widow exists. We talk to the widow. Whether it's physical torture or a normal conversation, it doesn't matter. She is apparently so deep in this bullshit that she managed to scrub the Rabbit's records. The armed one. So it shouldn't be that big of a problem for her to give off a name. And with that name, we have the power we need, because then we can go after his family, we can go after his children, his wife. It doesn't matter, because he will give us the information we need, and we can put them down for good. Or do you still think it's a better idea to put another man through it? To send another man into an unmarked van, into an unmarked location, with the tracker probably found out. So we can sit there and watch as he's pulled apart, and you can say that you helped.
And what would killing him do?
Killing who? Max?
Yeah.
Killing him.
I agree with you. The doctor is a better path. But we need to talk this over more with the others before we make a definite decision.
Sounds to me like the one thing they need is a definite decision. Because this shit's been going on long enough. My son died. Trying to stop this, trying to end it, trying to finish it. And I will be damned if I'm prolonging it fucking longer. But you're right. It's fair that we talk to him. You better hope that they're not as stupid as he is. Can he still talk?
I'm sorry. Can he still talk? Yes. Non-lethal shot to the chest.
Then let's talk to him.
Give me a sec. Okay, bad. Joint plans. Come on, get up. As he lifts you up, the bullet wound heals.
Stay there.
Your suicide point is off. We're going to be talking to the widow, and we're going to get the information out of her. And with it, we're going to use that to track down whatever form of leadership these hounds have, and we will kill them that way. Good.
Throwing yourself into the fire isn't the best plan, and I don't know why I was letting you go through with it. Maybe too long of being someone on the sidelines.
As for you and the other one, Armsy, I believe is his name. If I catch wind, if you pull another hypocritical stunt like this, I won't just kill you. I will make sure that not only Red, but Jones here will get an understanding about the pain I will inflict on you. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
I will be making my way to Tony, I believe his name is. And I will talk with him. In the meantime, do not contact me again.
Sorry, son.
Could have been a way to take myself out of the picture, you know. Saved you all the trouble from this.
But it wasn't trouble.
I'd rather put
I
myself
gotta go to the line for
out.
peace.
I've seen too many friends dead. I don't
No,
want
that's fact.
another.
I'm getting a bit
Listen to
tired
me,
of this
lad.
myself too, you know.
I know. You have the place. If you need a break, you can go to it. You can take people to it. People you trust.
This is my fight, Joe. I don't have time for a break.
I'm saying...
I made an error in my
Once
I made
it's
an error in
over.
my own judgment, Jones. I deserve to put something forward for this, Joe.
Boy. Max. We all make errors. We all do things we regret. What we do after to make them right. Doesn't mean throwing yourself onto the pyre.
It's what I deserve for
not
doing
there.
shit like that to Jack.
That's why I was here, remember? I was here to make sure that it didn't stick.
Gonna.
But listen to me. You made an error in your ways. You were blinded by your emotions. It happens. It's alright, lad. Trust me.
What's Jack gonna say?
You work, you make up for it. And that's it.
How the fuck am I gonna go make up for something that was out of my control?
As the rest of us do. Try and do better.
He already forgave you for the first nitro.
We need you, Max.
I guess I'll call it a nitro
You're
rage.
a wonderful fighter. And so we're going to take down the Hounds. I'd rather have you at my side. Leave the shady stuff to the mobster. Fight with your friends, as you always have. Been too long. Get some rest, lad. You've quite a mountain to climb. But it's the right way to do it. I'm glad we could set you that way. Listen. I know how you feel. Making decisions you thought were right at the time. I've made my share. The Omega 12, my task force, originally had 7 members in total. It's just me left. Four of them went AWOL. And then termination order put out. The only people from my original reality. People I worked with for years. My family. Well, because of a council that only has their own interest in mind. I made the wrong decision, and I am trying to make up for it. If I can, so can you. Get some rest.
That place is still ready, right?
Yes. You think, and you go. And scene. Oh, that was fun. Oh, my fucking ankles.
This shit was fucking